time to find out. Mousesports OpTic Map 2, Dust2. It's fun time to find out if the Danes have got any more bite or if it is merely just bark. Let's jump over to Harry and Hugo.
Yeah, thank you very much. And Mousesports versus OpTic. Currently, Mousesports sitting 1-0 up after taking overpass. Now, Dust2 becomes a must-win for OpTic if they want to stay afloat here. Nico already down 3 short, actually has plucked Chris J from the ranks of Mouz early. Rops is quick to find an equalizer, and this pistol round is very explosive, back and forth, but it's OpTic emerging victorious there. Config with 3 big kills. Still really yet to see him pop off in either of the series we've seen them play just yet. So maybe some good showings early on. Gonna let us see exactly that.
Great flash from inside the doors on B as well, landing in mid and blinding all 3 of those Mousesports players running up for the mid to B split. We saw Rops even trying to hide in the CT smoke, but to no avail. OpTic with a pistol, and they needed it, Harry. Already down a map in this series, their pick as well, but the question is, how prepared are Mousesports on Dust2? About to find out. They've gone for the 4s. Of course, it's Deagles here. Ecos are pretty weak on this map, especially on the T side, so Deagles are a necessity in these kind of rounds. You're not going to find much with a P250 or a CZ. Scout on Woxic, and that's up Cap, but 2 players on the other side, a bait and switch setup. As soon as Woxic sees Nico, we're going to see the swing of MSL. What a shot! Ooh. Oh my god, how the hell do Mousesports not lose a player on short?
That is not how that's meant to go down. Chris J wins his fight versus Snappy, and this is all getting unraveled here for OpTic.
What?
Refresh and Config are already backing away. They're like, nope, well, this is fine. This is fine.
I don't understand.
How did Woxic land that shot? And then Carrigan swoops in and saves the day as well.
I think Carrigan, he got a wallbang headshot. I think he shot through Woxic there. I don't know what else he would have done, unless it was the corner. Maybe he shot through Woxic. That's crazy. What a round from Mousesports. That is out of nowhere, Harry. A good setup on short for OpTic, and it gets dismantled. Oh, my dear. 1-1 here for Mousesports. Guns are going to be saved for OpTic. Mousesports, they can chase all they want. They may as well peek. Rops should take this fight to try and take away a gun, but he doesn't know where that second player is. He's getting given a 1v1, but no weapons taken away. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Oh.
No, too late. He had a try.
One of the things that I think it's worth bringing up as well is you think about yesterday in their game versus North, OpTic, a lot of their success is found in those pistol rounds, right? They won 100% of them.
Yeah.
So they've been very, very good at picking them up. The fact that Mousesports are immediately able to answer back in that second round is not great if you're OpTic, right? You would have loved to have hit the ground running, pick up some momentum. You want to get your AWPs out. You want to try and have that as early as you can, and now that's all been thrown into question.
Especially when OpTic, they won 6 pistols, Harry. They won 5 conversions out of 6 in that best of 3. So, you know, that's already Mousesports just getting a force-buy win out of nowhere. Although, talking of out of nowhere, Config, hello. He's in T-spawn right now. Frozen's holding for it, but he's not going to win the duel. Config gets a 1v1 to his favor. Backs off now. Mousesports in the meantime just trying to commit towards their early long presence. They had 3 players here anyway, may as well go. And Nico sitting close on the site. Carrigan mid-air shot to MSL. The Deagle comes in, but it only does damage. Carrigan gets away with 2, the Pistol King as well as the UMP. It's a 4-on-3. Config's position is the only question mark here. This could win the round for OpTic as he finds 2. The bomb still down on long here in the corner. Chris J, 20 HP, and he's got to get up onto the site. Config won't allow it. 3 kills, 4 rather, in the round so far. And Woxic gets finished off by the flank. Config taking matters into his own hands, and that's what we like to see.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I like it. You know, you just go, all right, Config, go kill. Right, let's try this one. You know, we haven't done it in a while. It's the old Config classic.
And he's Bames Johnding it, Harry. 7-0-0. The reverse James Bond.
Yeah, I'm glad that you had to explain that one for me, man.
Just for those you know, uneducated.
Yeah, that's all good. Yeah, that is the official Bames John scoreline.
Yeah.
Orb's still out on Woxic, though, in spite of not taking that previous round. They've been able to get it. So this buy here from Mousesports is actually good. We're getting to see buys on either side of the board early on in this game. Force buy wars do take a bit of a different tone now. Mid-aggression going to be the order of the day from Mouz. Deag on Carrigan. Going to be leading the charge up towards short. He won't be given anything just yet. Flash into short. This is going to telegraph that there's players here to OpTic, and that's why you can see MSL sitting pretty with that AWP, keeping an eye from the crossroads. So Mousesports have got mid control. They've got a minute and 5 seconds. They've got what they wanted. But now what are you going to do with it?
Trying to feel out the OpTic setup for now. Good way to do that is always to play cat. Can force out utility and try and get an understanding as to OpTic's position within this A bomb site. And it is within the bomb site that MSL sits, moved back from the car. Snappy focused alone on long. With the current positions, it looks like an A commitment from Mousesports with that late long lurk of Karrigan. In the meantime, MSL is going to get Molly back. That ticks away at a bit of damage, but he sends off a hell of a lot more. Frozen's been picked up. The high flash facilitates the peak, but he can't land the second shot. The third, certainly. And now his teammates are swinging in to help him out. Even though Rops gets a frag, surely this round isn't winnable. The split is all that's left, and Karrigan bailed out of long after he got tagged. It's back to the short play. 18 seconds. OpTic have heard him, and it's only a couple more seconds before we see this IGL taken down. So 3-1 to OpTic. A far more confident start onto this map for them.
And I mean, one man really in particular, Config. You know, if he can keep this up, if we can see the Config that we've been so used to seeing, that's always one of the horrible parts, you know, about being the star. Is it does come with that extra responsibility, right? Like sometimes a lot of the games can fall onto your shoulders, and that's why so often you see star players get hyped up and then they just fall off. You know, you can't deal with that pressure.
Can't top frag every game, Harry.
No, I know, but I mean, it's easy to say that. But if you go into a team and you're the guy who's meant to be the star, that is just your job, you know. So, ooh, Snappy. Oh, shooting gallery, 3 kills from him. You all get dealt with. It's only these pistols for Mouz, so they probably don't get much more done. Ooh. There we go. 4-1 lead for OpTic. And now we get to see another bite back on the cards for this Mousesports T side.
With the AWP as well, albeit glass cannon on Woxic. OpTic Gaming, they've got their own, of course. MSL's had a good start to this map as well. On that previous rifle round, able to lock down 2 on the A site before he eventually got traded by the AWP. We didn't really get to see too much of the AWP for AWP, mainly due to the fact that MSL was reluctant to run it on the T side of Overpass, but here's where we could really see that battle come into play. MSL tagged through the door, but he's still going to take down Frozen before he fades away, and he may not even fade away. He's going back for the repeat. In the meantime, Karrigan's been heard up Catwalk. Molotov to keep him at bay, and he is peering through to the corner of Goose. Nothing to be found. Smoke, big gap. Big gap, and Karrigan going to try and abuse it. He finds one, cannot double down. It's the trade from Config, and Refresh wins his duel in the meantime down towards B. So Woxic, no trade available for him, and OpTic's utility is doing a really good job of sectioning off Mousesports, disallowing these trades. It's in the blink of an eye just left to one man.
Oh, it's now left to no man. OpTic 5-1 up, and I tell you what, after the dominant start of Mousesports back on Overpass, I was very much expecting coming into their map pick we would see a much more one-sided affair, but OpTic are impressing right now. This could very much be one of these series where both teams trade map picks and then it all gets duked out on the third.
Is, of course, Train, for those unaware.
Yeah, we've got to see OpTic looking good on that just yesterday, so...
As well as Mousesports.
Yeah, we've actually seen both these teams on trade. So we do actually have some interesting stuff to go off of there. Now this round, it is just these pistols. They're going to try and barrel out into mid, but this is where Config resides, and he's been a beast. Oh, still yet to die. This man's immortal. They need to figure out his kryptonite, but they can't. He's 12-0. It's actually should be 13-0 because he got that team kill, if I'm not mistaken, earlier on.
He did. Was that on this map?
What's that last? No, that was last map.
Yeah, I was going to say, that was on A-Long on...
I'm just trying to give him more credit than credit is due.
Give him another kill, Harry.
Why not? I want him to try and beat that kill record, and he could be on the path to do it.
It's yeah, let's see if he can keep it up. 6-1 right now. OpTic, definitely smiles on their faces. It is looking like a whole new team, which is always positive considering how rough that previous map was. I mean, cruise control was the words used by the desk, and I imagine that, well, they want to get back in gear, Harry.
We can see them having a little discussion now, trying to figure out how best to approach this round. Carrigan going to be leading that conversation. Early on, going to be this showing towards long from Mouz. Look like maybe they wanted to try and play off of Spawn, but Chris instead waits for the early utility, and now they flash over. Double smoke to block up long. Looking to try and take pit control here, and they've isolated Snappy. He has to go above and beyond. He does at least manage Chris J, and Nico, through that smoke, has reclaimed the man advantage for OpTic. Now with Woxic down in the pit, this is a bit of like an old school Dust2 setup. You've got your AWPer down in pit. You can just look to leave him here and try and explore some other avenues of the map, but instead they just creep on up toward the crossroads. OpTic in response to this, they've given up the A bomb site. They've pushed short aggressively. They're setting up for this retake of A. Ooh, Config.
He's unstoppable, Harry. He will not die.
He actually won't.
Frozen's going to get the bomb down here. That Molotov gives him some time, and Rops has found a kill in middle. The issue is Config, once again, crept up close and behind. Rops is dead, and Frozen, I don't think he's ready for the pace of Config. That's his 14th here, still yet to die.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
He's immortal.
I like those A smokes from Mousesports. I've not seen that before. They cut off long. The only issue with that, or one of the main issues with that, is that the CTs can just spray through that smoke and catch players crossing into the pit. In addition, utility is a problem. CTs can flash the pit player to go for the peak, and we saw Chris J get fully blinded and taken down by that pit man. And then another player fall to the smoke spam. So actually, OpTic got ahead of that one with a 2-to-1.
But that's where as well, you know, Carrigan gets caught out a bit, I think largely just trying to deal with Snappy, right? You were looking at Chris J to actually be the man to deal with him. So the second you lose him, you do have to swing a player wider. And that was how we saw Carrigan get found through the smoke. You imagine it would have been a very different round had they been able to just get their man into pit. This time, they try and flash through these smokes, and we do see the kills come up in favor of Mousesports this time around. So now we get an idea of what the plan might have been. This time, they immediately give up pit. They're not going to leave a man here. And they do, actually, in the form of Woxic, just to wait for this re-aggression from OpTic, and it won't come through. He doesn't spot anyone. So now sitting 4-on-3. Mousesports, first time in a long time we've seen them with this man advantage, but you still have this deadly trio, namely Config, over on the side of OpTic, left standing.
And no AWP for Woxic in this round, so they won't just leave him in the pit to try and play that A anchor. Instead, setting up for a mid to B. Refresh, lining 2 up, finds 3 of them, and that's the bomb dropped in the round over for Mousesports. This has been a game of individual performance for OpTic, and Refresh has just joined the party. Molotov to keep Rops contained, but he'll smoke it off and get re-smoked. There's no way out of this one. He's got to flash through and fight to the death, and death he shall receive. Config, 15-0?
He had a big round from Refresh. He's also 9-0.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, you know, these Danes, they don't die.
That's unreal. Like, they're keeping it up, Harry.
Was, what, 46 kills from Config was the record set by him on Overpass?
I thought it was 38. Regulation, 38 kills.
I don't know.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I'll crunch the numbers on that one, Hugo. We're not there yet, so you don't have to be too worried.
I mean, if this game carries on in the same way, it's going to be too quick for him to get that many kills. Mousesports need a solution. They're yet to have one. Again, the long smokes. This time a big gap. Rops creeping through. OpTic without their sights set on long. This could be a problem. They're focused on short, but they're shutting down the split. Woxic with the scout dropped rather. Double CT setup. They've allowed them to cross towards the site, but that bomb will not be allowed to go down. It will get dropped instead. Nico with 2. And just Rops left with that bomb, going to try and desperately punch in the numbers. It's actually a fake. He knows they're so close. Great shot. Finally killing Config and taking him out of this, deathless streak.
Yeah, it was 47 kills.
Oh, okay. I don't know where I got 38 from. How many rounds? What's the score?
Oh, you've really put me on blast here.
I just assume you have all the information. Don't give me half the facts.
I'll never give you. It was 16-13 versus Renegades back on Overpass.
Yes. 47.
47.
That's not going to get broken anytime soon. So I recommend you don't bring it up because you're just going to jinx it.
Yeah, I mean, he's still yet to die. That's an achievement in and of
just
itself.
died.
Oh, yeah, no, never mind. I was too busy looking at facts. But at least now they know that he is not immortal.
Well, he may not be, Harry, but OpTic seem to be, only having dropped one round this map, still keeping it up. The pistols don't find that much success for Mousesports, but it's not the end of the world. Here's the guns. OpTic back on the AWP, what we like to see. And he's been winning his individual duels, but Mousesports have not been getting too far. The molly up cat just to try and give them short control, but MSL's on the other side, and we've not seen the AWP here for a CT side yet, so do Mousesports expect it? Yes, with the Molotov. Nade goes back in, fantastic damage, and MSL gets one and drops right off.
Yeah, we so often see AWPers play that position. It is incredibly hard to deal with, and MSL even looks tempted to go back in for... Oh! There we go. Almost timing, but Chris J never checks the corner, so he goes down as a result. And Mousesports just really feels like it's all falling apart. I mean, it's felt like that for a little while now. Don't really have any success to go off of. Nothing to really build upon.
And this is where the troubles of you being a new team can certainly be a problem, right? OpTic, same story, right? They are in some sense a new team, but they have those, you know, they've got plenty of experience playing together, some of these players. They've got things to fall back on. Mousesports, they don't. A lot of these players not played with each other before, so you can't necessarily have that, okay, well, we'll just fall back into this, we know this works, right? This is probably one of their first, if not the first Dust2 official they've played, so it's, yeah, it's not looking too good. They're not looking too great on this map, Harry. Money gone as well, 10-1 for OpTic. Hey, you thought Overpass was dominant. Take a look at this one.
Yeah, I mean, OpTic looking to try and show anything you can do, we can do better. So now we just have this very dismal buy for Mousesports. They really scraped the bottom of the barrel. They might just look to try and go for a fast B play, test the waters, see how that pans out. As we kind of touched upon, you haven't really got anything to go off of here. You can't look at this and be like, oh, well, that worked, because the one round that they were able to get, let's not forget, was just that force buy, you know, in the second, rather. Yeah, it doesn't set you up for finding any holes to exploit here in this OpTic Gaming CT side. It's the fast B play, Config here alongside Refresh, the two top performers for OpTic, and it's into the meat grinder. They do deal with Refresh, but they still have Config left to try and overthrow. He's been able to get 3, which is far more than he ever should have got away with. OpTic now thrust into this clutch, does pick off the first man, but MSL in with the trade. It's 11-1, and OpTic making quick work of Mousesports here.
Yeah, no bomb plant. That would have made a lot of difference for Mousesports, who are just on the edge, teetering on a buy here. It might even be enough to convince them, but OpTic goes for the scouts, so maybe just pistols. And what a half this has been. OpTic, of course, getting the pick on that CT side, with this being Mousesports' map choice, so looking very happy with that one. OpTic trying to fight down middle again, but no reason for MSL to take this fight necessarily. He's not even on this site. He's down towards A. Config solo holding the mid position, 18-2 on him, and he's going to get tagged up with a scout, so we'll be forced back this round, going within the confines of the B bomb site once more. This might tempt Mousesports to go for the mid to B now that they've got control of this position. The high smoke to stop a player boosting themselves over, and the low one to keep Nico at bay. Refresh focused on middle. The Molotov shutting out the window peak, but he'll just strafe out into the door and drop the bomb, finding 2. Chris J with a trade. The only issue here for OpTic is the one man within the B site is very low.
Yeah, but you can't discount the fact that I was going to say that it is Config still left standing. He gets picked up, though. As you say, the low HP may be coming back to punish him. He gets headshots. It doesn't really matter. Nico and MSL out through mid. Do you drop Chris J? OpTic still here, but this bomb is in control of OpTic right now down in middle. And with the AWP here, this crossfire set up, you feel like there's no way. You know, Rop's just with 2 HP. This should never happen.
No one's even watching the back. In about 5 seconds, someone's got to turn around and make sure they're not being flanked. But this is horrible. Poor Rops. What is this setup? How do you even get past this? You don't. That's the answer. OpTic, another round, and 3 kills from MSL with the AWP, keeping mid under control. 3rd tack pause from Mousesports, but nothing seems to be coming up Mouse, Harry.
No, it really doesn't. And what an odd series this has been already, right? Yeah. Mousesports making quick work of OpTic over on Overpass, and I mean now this is even more one-sided. The best we saw Mousesports manage was 9-1 back on Overpass. So a potential 14-1 half. And yeah, I mean, look, actually on that current score bracket, that is the wrong way around, but that's fine.
Yeah, Mousesports wish they were 12.
Yeah, they really do. And yeah, I can't say, you know, you understand the mistake there after how dominant that Mousesports game was initially, right? You would have very much anticipated them to come to this map at full throttle.
At least it shows OpTic can, you know, reset and just move on from a dominant loss. And they're looking ready to bring their A game into this second map. I mean, they've already brought it, Harry. It's been delivered, signed and sealed. MSL's even trying to fight mid with the AWP, but he'll give it up early. Carrigan does spot it there. That smoke's about to fade up on short. Mousesports need to get up to the catwalk sooner rather than later. They won't even choose to, and MSL's just trying to keep them at bay here in mid with the utility.
And he's looking to go toe-to-toe versus OpTic. Not many players would throw themselves into that fight, but he's certainly feeling it. They do manage to flash him off of mid at the very least. And crucially now for OpTic, they've had this utility whittled away, and for the first time in a while, they don't have this man advantage to fall back on. So as this site take looks to come through over towards this A portion of the map, MSL peeks forward, drops OpTic, so the clash of the AWPers over on short comes up in favor of MSL. And as they start to trickle out through long, Snappy makes quick work of Chris J. This round, slowly but surely unraveling. And Config, just playing with his food. Carrigan shut down, looking for a bit more. Frozen is able to pick that up at least, but he's in hot water now down in mid. The bomb dropped and Refresh swings wide. Only Rops left standing, and it's not happening. OpTic 13-1.
Just like we all expected.
Yeah.
And no money left for the last round of the half either. I mean, not no money, but not enough money, Harry. Not that any money can get Mousesports out of this position.
This game's been live for 20 minutes, by the way, and we're almost done with the first half. So
the question is, what will be longer, the pause between them, the halves, or the actual game at this point? Because OpTic are making quick work of Mousesports, cobbling together what they can for this buy, and a quick long take once again. The corner smoke this time, not going for the full setup. Config. Oh dear, he's on the flank, but he's been red. Carrigan catches that player out. The Battle of the Danes comes up Mousesports, and now this is the best position they've been in all half, which is sad to say.
Yeah, I mean, you know, with the exception of that one force buy round in the second, yeah, this is the best position they've been in these full buys. Setting up to try and take long. Refresh is here this time around. We see the repositioning between him and Snappy. Snappy was so often down towards this long corner of the map. Refresh going to hear the players crossing. Nico, oh, he's in a lot of danger of getting caught out here. Waiting for a flash that never arrived. Refresh answers back with two, and there's a gap in this smoke. MSL's looking to try and exploit it. OpTic doesn't spot him, and MSL not ready for Frozen up on short. This leaves Snappy in the 1v3.
Yeah, scope communicated by the player crossing, and Frozen peeks out as a result of it. Missile only sneaky for so long as Snappy charges up short. 1v3, try and keep this half even more dominant than you could imagine. That nade's very chunky, but Frozen still sits on the bomb site, and he'll peek when his teammate gets close. No need. Frozen just wins the battle, and that will be Mousesports getting away with 2.5. Decent showing from OpTic, to say the very least, Harry, and they are looking to strip Dust2 away from Mousesports and bring us to train. Can they do it on the second half, or will Mousesports recover? Let's find out after the break. Quick, clean, and concise. Everything OpTic showed us in that first half of Dust2. 13 rounds out of the potential 15 they could have gained, and you don't see that every day, especially not after Mousesports stunned us back on Overpass.
Yeah, right. I mean, Dust2, we said it was a must-win map for OpTic. They clearly knew the stakes were high as well, as they've really bought the heat here in this second map of this best-of-3 series. For those of you who are just tuning in, Mousesports sat 1-0 up after a dominant win back on Overpass. You already mentioned that. And OpTic coming out the woods here in their second map in full force, sitting 13-2 up right now, and that means this pistol round, something that OpTic have been so good at picking up throughout this event thus far, is something that could very much seal their fate and take them through to map number 3. That will be train if/when, likely when we get there.
Ooh, a couple players faking B with utility and trying to maybe force Mousesports to over-rotate. They've done exactly that. They've moved the third player here and still have 4 committed towards mid and B. That bomb spotting in spawn. I wonder how Mousesports will react to that, because it looked like Nico was crossing towards B, but he's clearly trying to fake it back out and maybe go back towards his A site. No, he'll commit. Looked for a second like OpTic didn't want to go towards that B site, but they've still got 2 players in the tunnels, and they had a deep early nades that didn't really do any damage. Still, though, 3 utility players is a rarity on the T side of Dust2, but I like it. And, of course, limiting yourself when it comes to that body armor, but OpTic, they're not going to go towards B after all. They're going back in through middle. Woxic's here. He might be able to get the info that they're jumping up to the catwalk if the timing so does help him, but I think the smoke has made it blindingly clear. We should see Mousesports be very ready for this A-split.
Yeah, the issue they're going to have is Carrigan is in a position where he really is to go above and beyond. No one nearby to help him out. And as he gets silent Woxic, there's 1 kill. Not too ready for refresh over at long, but he's able to duck down into CT just in the nick of time. Bomb planted here. Kit still over on Frozen, and he'll delete MSL up at short. 3v3 retake ensues, and still a chance of Mousesports in this round.
It's winnable, but they've got to move fast. This Kit is on Frozen, but they're taking their sweet time to get back up through this spawn. Woxic, creepy crawly alone as his teammates come up through the catwalk. There's a spot for Config. Nico's taking down Frozen, but Woxic wins his duel. If he can find another one, this is still winnable, but now Rop's left in the hot seat, 1 on 2, and they're just not going to fight him. The time will elude him. Surely 1 kill, almost a second, but Refresh finds 3. So OpTic, they will tie the bow on top, Harry. I don't know what that's in regards to, but getting the second pistol round has really solidified their place in this map.
It's tying the bow on the gift that is this second map, right? Their big performances, namely from the 2 players that we really wanted to see stepping up, Config and Refresh, both having a very good showing.
Yes.
You know, we were hyping up Config early on, but Refresh has really kind of stole the show in a lot of ways, right? He's sitting 19-3, top of the server alongside Config, both of them having countless big moments time and time again, and they're just going to look to try and switch the pace up, go for this fast B play, full-on disrespect, and Rops taking 1 to the dome. Woxic from out in the window has managed a 4-on-4. Frozen in with another. We can't see Mousesports. Okay. Totally fair, totally reasonable. Woxic in through the doors. Takes down Config. And I was just going to say, we can't see Mousesports convert another force buy. Surely not.
I think you're wrong, Harry. The Molotov from Snappy extinguished in the smoke. And now the retake is on. This is still difficult, don't get me wrong, but surely OpTic cannot hold on to this one, especially not with drops like that. Frozen running and gunning with the UMP, and Mousesports, they will find their third, Harry. They keep the game alive, and 2 of their 3 rounds are force buys after losing the pistol, which is typically not reproducible, but apparently so when you've got Woxic on that scout. He has been the make or break, right? 2 kills in that round. He got the opening kill in their force buy back on the T side. And now 14-3, this game is still, you know, not exactly close, but it is possible for Mousesports. Long road to recovery.
Yeah, a long and perilous road. Thwart with danger. And malevolence around every corner, perhaps, Hugo.
What is a dangerous road to you, Harry? What dangers do roads have?
Plenty. Plenty. There's cars. There's potholes if you're in a car. You know, man v car, we know who wins that.
Car wins every time.
Ooh. Woxic with this scout, giving us a bit of a frag showdown in mid.
He's so good with this weapon. It's actually, Chris J must be so pissed right now. Like, come on, OpTic. I want to go.
He's looking for more. He's looking for more. Now, obviously, you can get all the scout kills you want. You're still 3-14 down. You know, we need to see a massive resurgence.
Whoa. 4-14 down.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Woo! And OpTic has certainly been looking good. 16 kills on him. Highest on the team by a reasonably significant margin. It's been him and Frozen, two of the new additions. Really showing up here on Dust. And actually, you know, it's the more seasoned players within this in this squad. Carrigan, Chris J, you know, to a certain extent, Rops struggling early on. This is where we need to see them kind of draw on that experience, right? Look to try and remain resilient in the face of defeat. Not an easy feat by any stretch of the imagination. Quick short boost from OpTic. That smoke falls on the Xbox to block it. And now he's going to turn his attention towards short. Two players here, but a missed shot, uncharacteristically so. Nets that man advantage. It's Config to pick it up. Frozen's just got to retreat from short. And OpTic now sitting 5v4 for map point here on Dust2.
Lots of utility being traded here up on the catwalk. OpTic just trying to keep Mousesports back. They know they've taken down the most important player on the Mousesports side, at least in this game and on this map. So they'll double back now, giving the illusion that they have the catwalk. OpTic going towards long. Carrigan's here on the other side though. Crucial kill. Can he get any more done? They're filtering out one by one, but luckily enough, MSL wins that duel. The trade was a couple of seconds away. But no problem regardless. Frozen will line up two men pushing up through long, and another one on short. Refresh finding the kill. This is where things will fall apart for Mousesports, surely. 2-3. As that bomb goes down, it's a safe plant, meaning this long player is not going to be as effective, but Snappy's actually moved up by the car, which is even better. He can not only focus on long, but keep an eye on this smoke. If Chris pushes through, and, well, he's kind of out of options, he has to push through if he wants to keep this round alive.
Oh, doesn't spot Snappy over at the car. Rops will at least get the trade. There's a chance here for Rops. Time will start to work against him, though, and I don't think he's ready for this double man hold inside of the bomb site. The bomb ticking away. He has dealt with Refresh, but it's Nico, this unknown quantity, this unknown factor. Rops not going to check it, but he lands the shot, hopping on the defuse. It's going to be down to the wire. I think so. He's just got enough time. Nope, not quite. 15-4, OpTic map point.
And that 1 second of hesitation where he didn't get on the bomb lost him the round. Because, you know, he had that. If he jumps, if he knows where the bomb is, it's not his fault, obviously. If he knows where the bomb is, he wins that round. But he stumbled for a second and looked around like, where's the plant? Where's the plant? And
I mean, you know, you feel like a lot of it is just because full short control going the way of OpTic, right? He anticipated that was where the bomb was planted for.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you could see from his retake as well. The second he kills Snappy, he's trying to get longs, flashes for catwalk, and he's not focused on the site at all. So yeah, he was very much expecting the cat plant there and the after plants as well. So that's just an unfortunate read. Can't really blame him for it, but unfortunate map really for Mousesports. They are, you know, one round away from losing their pick and heading over to train, although maybe it's better for them if it happens just quickly and you get it over with, move on, rather than drag out a 15-4 to a 15-8 and then lose it, you know. But of course they're going to be doing their best, Harry, trying to keep this game alive. It's just not going to be easy. At least they have the AWP on OpTic, not going to be rivaled by that of OpTic, but potentially a B-rush, which can certainly counter an AWP if it's not there at the right time.
Flash in, drops. Oh, not quite able to get back behind the box in time, and Mousesports immediately thrust into this B-site retake. 4-on-5, and still with Snappy in the back line. This could very much now be OpTic taking this second map and securing train as the third. They at least deal with Snappy on this wrap round, so they've managed the 4-on-4. Flash is going to get lined up by Carrigan. They've got the one flash to go off of, so when this goes in, they've got to go with it. Carrigan lining that up. Smoke throwing a block off the tunnel. MSL holding close, but a no-scope from OpTic. That does deal with the point man here. There's another player deep inside of the bomb site, but Carrigan takes down Chris J. Bit of friendly fire, and it all goes to Chaos. OpTic Gaming 16-4, as dominant as you like. They lock in train, they lock in map number 3. Overpass might have been a convincing win for Mouz, but here on Dust2, everything comes up OpTic.